Politicking or working in law practice, she enjoys traveling with her husband and has been to 30 countries and 22 states in the last 8 years. Please welcome Michelle.
Are you having fun yet? Yeah. Are we having fun? Yeah. Whose state?
Our state.
Whose state?
Our state.
All right, I'm just checking with you. Well, hey, we got so excited about our speakers that we blew right by portions of our program. The Pledge of Allegiance. I think it's pretty important, don't you? Do I have any colors around here? I need some colors. Right over here. Okay, Eric, you're going to lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance, sir? Take it away.
I'd be honored. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all!
Thank you, sir. All right. And also, there's something that brought us out here today, and that's what's happening to the businesses of this state. So I think it's totally appropriate for us to take a moment of silence to remember not only the businesses and the families that are affected by those businesses being shut down by Inslee's mandates, but let's also remember the schools that are shut down, the thousands of students who are out of school right now, who are effectively their youth is being taken from them. We're hearing about suicides. I am getting so sick and tired of being told how selfish I am for my position when there are people that are at the end of their rope right now. When you take away someone's ability to make a living, you take away their ability to live. So with that, I want to introduce Carrie French. She's going to come in and take it away. You are going to do our moment of silence.
All right. Well, she said everything I was going to say, so...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, we get legal people talking. We can't shut up, right?
I haven't even given my speech yet.
I know. Well, I'm going to give one, too. So, anyway, my name's Carrie French. I'm from Kent. I'm in King County, but I'm working hard to turn that county. So I need your help. Anyway, if you'll take just a minute of silence, and I want to just reiterate the businesses, the dreams that have died, the kids that are depressed, the people that can't go on because King Inslee has shut them down. They don't have money to pay their rent. We've got landlords who aren't being paid rent and they can't get rid of the people who aren't paying rent. We got people committing suicide. This is all terrible. And I just want to take a minute of silence for everyone. Shh. Thank you. I think that's the longest I've ever been quiet.
All right. Thank you so much, Carrie. I really appreciate that. Hey, we've got a huge crowd here. Who came from Eastern Washington? Eastern Washington. Okay. Woo! Okay. Thank you, Tara. You just so happen to be one of the speakers, too. So, all right, perfect. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now I'm going to start into my speech. Okay, and today I want to talk about unity and building our war chest. Never underestimate the power of a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens to change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our work cut out for us. Apathy and complacency are enemies of justice and freedom. And unfortunately, many Americans have been apathetic and complacent for far too long. We have allowed every system and institution in our country to become fatally corrupted. And what we see today is a consequence of that corruption. Our schools, our courts, and our political institutions are all in a state of decay and plunder. As a consequence, the wealth, property, and power of the American middle class is being redistributed as we speak. The middle class is the backbone, and always has been, of our entire country. If our middle class dies, we lose our republic. The current attack on small businesses is yet another example of the plunder. Small businesses are dying and offered no relief, while the largest corporations are enjoying record profits. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not by accident. So where do we go from here? How do we save our businesses, take back our courts and our schools, and purge our political institutions of tyrants? How do we save our republic? We submit by building unity and a war chest. I'm going to tell you a story that my father told me back when he was in college. He did an experiment on rats. He took docile pet rats. He put it, and this sounds horrible, guys, but it was an experiment in his science class. He took docile pet rats. He put them in a box, and he shrunk down their space. He put more rats in the box. He slowly took away their food. He took away their water, and he added other stressors. These docile pet rats, by the end of the experiment, were cannibalizing. That's where we are today in our American society. I see so much division, even within our own movement. And when I say movement, I mean the liberty movement. Let me remind you, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Repeat that with me. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We can look past our differences and unite against a common enemy. We must work to build coalition and collaboration between our various freedom-fighting groups. And we must do it before we ever hope to unify our state and our country. And I don't mean political party. We must rise above political party. We must rise above race. We must rise above gender. We must rise above religion. And we must come together. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the only real division that exists between any of us is those who would support tyranny and those who believe in protecting the rights of individuals so we can live and love as we were created to do. Full stop. As my friend Judge David Larson told me, every crisis presents an opportunity. I know how many of you must feel right now. You might feel hopeless. But we are in a condition right now that presents us huge opportunity. There is a war going on for the heart and soul of America. And I would submit it's for the heart and soul of the entire world. I was in South Africa once and a young man told me, Michelle, when America sneezes, the whole world catches the flu. There is a war going on for the heart and soul of America, and Washington, I would submit, is a war front. This presents us with a great opportunity. People are hurting. They are lost souls searching for truth. The truth that you all know sets us all free. There are some in our country who have completely redefined truth. They call for unity. They call for peace. They call for love. Meanwhile, they agitate their base, they divide our country, and they burn down our buildings. They distort what it means to be American, deceiving people and capturing people in a cycle of dependency, debt, and tax bondage. Remarkably, they are masters at deception, and we have been outsmarted at most every turn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to change that. We must change the conversation. We must set an example in our own individual spheres of influence, both online and out in the street, as you are doing today. And I thank you so much for being out here today.
You're here.
To do this, we must first disregard our own egos, our pride, and cloak ourselves in humility and gentleness, with patience, showing tolerance for one another in love. And I know that sounds like fluff, but ladies and gentlemen, the other side has owned the corner on compassion for far too long. And that is on us. We must change that. We must change the conversation. The fields are ripe for harvest, but first we must reach hearts in order to change minds. It has been said that love is the perfect bond of unity. To cast out hate and division in our country, we must replace it with love. We must try to find common ground. Most people want food on the table, a roof over their heads, and a future for our children. Ladies and gentlemen, we can work with that. This is how we build unity in our communities, and in our state, and in our nation, and I submit in the entire world. The next thing we need to do, and y'all aren't going to like me for mentioning this, we need to build a war chest. We cannot win this war without a war chest. Repeatedly, I see candidates run for office with anemic campaigns. Ladies and gentlemen, I go to the PDC. Y'all can do this. You can go to the PDC. You can check and see what the opponents have and what we have. It's pathetic. Well, there's more of us than them. Meanwhile, our opponents are not only well supported, they're also backed with hordes of volunteers. Did you know that to be a member of the Socialist Alternative, you have to pledge 5% of your income to the organization? Now, mind you, I'm not out here to beat you up. I know we're all, it's tough times. But you know what? We find money for our coffee, our beer, our pizza. Let's give $20 a month, pledge to give $20 a month to a action, a candidate, or a cause that we believe in. We must build a war chest, and we must support those who are fighting for us. The age of anemic support must end. We must be willing to give our time, our energy, our money to support activities and candidates who are on the front lines. We also need these funds to be able to respond to the unique needs in our own communities. In doing so, we can displace government and live out our principles while helping people free themselves from the grip of dependency. By doing this, we can displace the superstitious belief that government can solve all our problems. We can replace it with the hope that is within us. An example of this is my good friend Alan Acosta and Ben Charles right here in Olympia. They've been feeding hundreds of food insecure people every week for years, but they could not do this without committed donors, and a volunteer base. Another much needed area of support is our courts. Our courts are modern day battlefront. Every day, individuals suffer the injustice of our court system that has been weaponized against us. We should be supporting the attorneys who are the thin black line between us and tyranny. We should support them not only as they fight cases in the courtrooms, but as they run for judgeships. Did you know that Governor Jay Inslee has appointed 111 judges in our state? Most judges then run uncontested, and we have seen the consequences of that as our Supreme Court recently overturned the will of the people and denied us our much-needed car tab relief. Ladies and gentlemen, that should come as no surprise to us. It is time to take our courts back. Yeah. We need to start a liberty bar of attorneys, and we need to support them. We need to find attorneys willing to seek to restore justice and fight tyranny on our behalf. But we've got to support them. I hear businesses challenged to refuse to comply with mandates. Businesses cannot be expected to sacrifice or rear their head only to get it shut down if we are not willing to provide the financial and legal support they need. In conclusion, I guess you were waiting for that. We can blame the politicians. We can blame Big Corp. We can blame our neighbor next door or the liberal across the street. But ladies and gentlemen, the blame lies with us. The good news is that there is great power in accepting responsibility. It means that we have the power to change the course of history.
Come on. Yeah.
Starting today, let's ignite a movement. Let us each pledge to do our part, to build unity, and to build a war chest for the cause of liberty. Make no mistake, this is a call to arms. This is our time. This is our hour. Let us continue the great American tradition of rising to the call. The very reason I launched Ignite Foundation LLC was because I answered the call to be the change. And after about a decade of activism, I realized this is what I needed to do. I am now building a team and an organization to rise above the political parties and to power up rebels without a cause, with a cause. Starting right here in Washington. Please join me in answering the call. Thank you so very much for your time today, and remember to be the change.
Wow. Yeah. I don't even know how to follow that. That was solid.